Live now, ready now, yeah.
Alright, guys, I'm going to take this stream off so that you all come over to this side. There's 100 that just came in. Guys, everybody come over to Tehran Spidey's Middle Eastern Gang, Slammer King and Tehran on Tehran Spidey's channel. Okay, over on YouTube. I see he's over there. I'll see you put through a normal line. Come over. Alright. Hey guys, how's all going, man? Is it on?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, no worries. One sec. YouTube. I'm just going to go into the YouTube, into your one,
that's cool.
from my one, and just put in my my username there so that I can write a comment, and then that way I can stay near with you guys, and everyone can subscribe to me as well. Tehran Spidey is live now. Go in there. Alright, Slammer King.
Slammer interview. Actually, this is the podcast. This is the podcast, guys. This is yeah.
This is episode 5, eh?
It's episode 5, correct? Yep.
4 was the last one, eh?
Yep.
Alright, so it is. Guys, I'm just gonna put the volume down on there. I'm just putting Slammer King. Everyone, subscribe to me and Spidey. Subscribe to Spidey.
Hey Beth, welcome back. Hey.
And Slammer on here. Alright, you ready guys? Here we go.
Yeah.
See our comments in. Alright. Guys, well, welcome to Slammers Knockout Productions and to Spidey. We are what do you call it? Here for another episode 5, yeah?
Oh yeah,
Episode 5 of Middle Eastern Gangs. We're gonna change it up please again at this time, team. So that it's not always violence and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you like to hear about a crime that's not as violent or as different that you can relate to, that you've, you know, done something similar or whatever, you know? We all make a mistake or two in our lives. Alright, so going back to when I was in Melbourne at 21 years old, and I just gone there and I just went from boys' homes. I went over there and stayed over there so that I could, you know, be good, whatever. Went to the Turkish Mafia, went with them, went to the National Park, almost died, they almost killed me. If you want to see that, go to the episode, what's it called?
Something about Turkish Mafia or something like that. In the title, those keywords.
Yeah,
so if they look
like
that up, they should come up.
Yeah, it should come up. And it'll tell you how I got taken to National Park and almost killed by 10, 20 kickboxers. Like, what's his name? Spidey was like, oh, it's funny up by that story. Everyone does. Anyway, you can go check that out. But anyway, so we get to Melbourne, and I've done the thing with the Turks, the kickboxers. I've gotten hammered. I've stopped the kickboxing from there, and then I went on a downward spiral, team, and that's what made me go into these kind of crimes, which I didn't know was really a crime at that time until I started to actually do it. I didn't want to do any kind of crime, right? So I started kind of. At 21, bro, like I was this tall and I had muscle everywhere and I wasn't on drugs, bro, you know what I mean? So I didn't even smoke cigarettes. That my face looked really good, I looked really healthy, chubbier, you know, I looked better, you know, healthier. Anyway, and then, like, I was a real charmer with the girls anyway, and I used to pick up a lot of girls all the time, you know? And I was like, fuck, how do you pick up girls? I go, it's because I compliment them so much, and I always compliment them, and they reckon I'm good looking, I don't know. Anyway, so I started striking it up really close with these girls that were fucking, Greek, Italian, Turkish, Aussies, everyone, you know. I started having relationships, you know, and I got really close to these girls, you know. And then at one time, you wouldn't believe this, Spidey, I had like 8, 9 girlfriends at one stage where I was, yeah, he knows, I was like cheating on every one of them, and I made that much lies up that I didn't know what lie was real and what wasn't anymore, and I started fucking up everywhere, you know what I mean? Anyway, these girls, I got real close to them. There was one called Maxine, and I ended up taking about $86,000 cash off her in a matter of probably 6 months back in 1993. Now, 86,000 back then was like 300-400 grand, you know, now, you know what I mean? And I like, like I loved her so much, you know, like more than all the other girls. But at the same time, my thirst for gambling and my thirst for fucking like starting to use drugs started to happen. You know what I mean? So I started, you know, using kind of marijuana, sniffing a bit of coke here and there, and gambling a lot. And the gambling is what made me start wanting to need so much more money everywhere. And I didn't want to do crime, like as in go out and do violent crime or do any kind of crime that I'd done when I was younger. So I looked next to me and the girl was sitting next to me and I loved her, but I was like, babe, you know, I didn't want to say to her, I don't want to do crime or go back to jail. I was just like, can you lend me $1,000? I'll give it to you later. 1,000 became 2, 2 became 4, 4 became 8. And I started asking all these girls for money, you know. So I went to the girl that was like second best, and that girl was the girl in the picture, Slammer team, that I showed you. There's a picture where I'm standing next to a Greek girl I showed you at my house. That's the picture, that's what I looked like then. Everyone's seen it here. So I was not a bad looking character, the girls told me. So they used to call me like a smooth talker with the girls. Anyway, so I ended up, this girl Maxine was really in love with me. She was a Greek girl. And I had a thing for Greeks, Italians, Aussies, and I left her and I was with an Aussie girl called Emma. I started to fall in love with the Aussie girl called Emma a lot more than this girl. Like I just started to fall for the Emma a lot more. And then one day, Emma and Maxine and Tina Galapis, the girl in the picture, all came to see me all at the one time. And they busted me. All at the same time. You wouldn't believe it, bro. I talked them into, one of them fighted and went away, Tina, the one that had me, that was full close to me. And the other two got on with each other. And I made them, what's that word? I made them become that close friends-wise, even though they were competitive against each other, to actually go out with me at the same time and have threesomes together. It was awesome, bro. I swear, I was pumping both those bitches, bro. Alright. Anyway, so we ended up, so anyway, then I'll get locked up. I'll get locked up around about, say, in Pentridge Jail in Melbourne for around about a weekend because I couldn't get bail money in time so that I could get out, and they wouldn't give me my last phone call. So I waited till the Monday, and it was like 10 grand bail, bro. So and I didn't want to ring my mum and make her pay all that money. So I rang up this girl Maxine. And I said, Maxine, come down and see me I'm in the police station. And she goes, you're in the police station? She goes, what happened, babe? I said, babe, what happened was they charged me for bashing this cunt, and now they said that if you bring me the $10,000 bail money and you lend it to me, I'll be able to fucking come out and stay on bail with you, you know, until I go to court. And she goes, all right, babe, what are you gonna do? I go, can you go lend me the money from your dad or from you so I can pay it back, you know? And she goes, no, at the start. Then eventually she got it, and I go, she goes, how am I gonna get you? So I go, just come down the cop shop, and as soon as you're almost there, ring my phone. I'll come out, and they'll let me out to come grab the money off you outside the front and go back into the police station, pay it to them, and come back out to you. And then she goes, yeah, all right. So when she got closer, I wasn't in the cop shop, so I had to go into the cop shop to act like something, you know. So I went in the cop shop and I started asking random questions just before she pulled up. Just anything, random questions. So the coppers didn't even care. Anyway, and then bang, I walk out, I go, babe, I need the 10 grand to go back in, pay the bail money. She gave it to me, I went back in, you know, spoke to him a bit more, and then went back out, and then we went back with her. And I kept gambling. Anyway, so we get down to around about, like, my habit has become really bad, like on drugs. I've been using a lot of ecstasy, a lot of cocaine, a lot of pot. I just sniffing it and that. Anyway, and then I got to a point where a dealer comes up to me when I was at the restaurant at a club called the Bull Rink in Fitzroy Street in Melbourne. You know Fitzroy Street?
Oh, Melbourne.
Yeah. It's like Newtown, that area, Fitzroy Street. Anyway, so fucking they ended up coming and seeing me. These guys said they wanted to, you know, do some bizzo with me. So they pulled out 3 big kegs of fucking, you know, something. And then they said, you know, you want this, you want that, blah, blah, blah. They ended up fucking seeing them at Luna Park near Melbourne. There's Luna Park in St Kilda on the beach there. Yeah, just before the Luna Park where the Macca's is, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, that just there at the Macca's there, he pulls out a big bag, puts it, you know, Udbay, you know. And fucking, I go down, and I just like, oh yeah, bang! Fucking knock him out, and just bang, grab the bag, and just go off running. And then next thing he's like in the car, she's like, Slammer, you're right, where are you coming from? Why are you running here? I go, nothing, my friend just gave me this, I've got to deliver it to a friend. And then back then, they were so innocent, bro, that they would believe something as gullible as that, you know what I mean? So I ended up ripping him, and I ended up taking off. Little did I know that he was connected to one of the fucking Lygon Street boys, you know? One of the big boys, you know? You know, the Carlton, the big high-rise towers near the end of Lygon Street? They're up the big high-rise towers near the end of Lygon Street where you get on and that. You go up the building, you go right to the elevator to the top. Ever been up there? Huh? Yeah, that's where you get everything from Melbourne, the good stuff. Anyway, so, where was I?
Doing the race, like TK, runoff and gullible.
Yeah, I took the stuff, jumped in with her, and then we took off. And then I found out that this guy was like one of the big, like Carlton boys. Fucking, it was one of their, Udbay, you know. And fucking I was like, oh no, what have I got myself into, you know? Back then, that's when all the Lygon boys were all pumping back in the early 90s to late 90s, you know? So I was like, fuck, I fucked with the Turkish mafia, now I'm fucking with the Lygon boys. Anyway, they ended up fucking waiting a bit, doing my own thing, and then bang, all of a sudden I get jumped from behind. Two cunts just come and just fucking bang, hit me from behind. I turn around, I start punching on with these two boys. I'm looking at them, the Aussie boys, like, who the fuck are these cunts? And I'm thinking like the Wog boys are after me, but there's Aussies trying to punch on with me, you know? They go, we've got a message for you from the boys, blah, 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 this is that, they're gonna get you. I go, oh yeah, whatever you reckon, give it back, blah, 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 this is that. I don't know what you're talking about, I'm not even that guy, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, we punched on a bit, bang, left them, and then fucking around about a few weeks later, one of those boys from the Turkish mafia boys, a big connected cunt, he comes up to me and goes, bro, you fucked with one of the biggest boys in that street, bro. I said, no way. He goes, yeah, you did. He goes, what are you going to do? You want to give it back, or you want to do this? You want to do that? I said, bro, I ain't giving it back, bro. I go, half it's already gone, bro. I've gambled half the money, and fucking I've sold the other half. It's all gone, mate. I'm a gambler, bro. What do you want me to do? When am I going to give him the money back? Go do armed robbery or something? You know what I mean? And he's like, oh yeah, fucking okay, no worries. And then I finished up with those boys, left them, and about 3-4 days later, I get a phone call saying you better come to Sydney Road. You know Sydney Road? It's a big long street in the middle of Melbourne, like the longest street you can ever go to. It's there, you know, have you heard of Coburg in Brunswick? Yeah, around there. I was around there, that's like a leather-dominated area, not like Carlton where it's an Italian area, you know. So the boys from there wanted to meet up with me to figure out how I was going to pay for it, you know. We go to a pub on Moreland Road, it's right on the corner, and we go sitting down talking with these cunts and start talking to us. So I had two boys across the road watching me in case something went down, you know. So as I'm talking to them, blah, 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 these boys, and they're saying, you fucking ripped off the bud, bro, sell bud, this and that, who do you think you are from Sydney, coming up here thinking you're a mad cunt? I go, bro, I didn't even know what the fuck it was, or who you were, or what I was doing to who to. If I knew it was those boys, I wouldn't have done nothing to those boys, you know what I mean? I don't want drama, this and that. I go, I'm only a kid, I'm 21, and this is all your state. I'm not even, my boys aren't up here, my boys are in Sydney, you know? I go, if you were in Sydney, I go, my boy's a million times hectic than yours, but it's all good. Anyway, and then all of a sudden, he's reefed out a fucking pistol on me, you know? I keep seeming to have these stories where guns pull out pistols on me, eh? But that's what happens when you're doing a dangerous trade like that and you're ripping off guns or you're doing something bad, karma's always going to come back to you, bro, no matter what, you know? Yeah, I'm talking about business. Not if you get on it, you know what I mean? You just do business or you associate with people that rip you off or you rip them off in large amounts, that's where you get yourself in trouble, you know? If you're just a user buying little bits and pieces, no one's going to come near you, you know what I mean, guys? So, yeah, this is just teach people to not go out there and rip other people off, you know what I mean? Yeah, at the end of the day, we ended up making up at the end, but I mean, shit hit the fan after this. Anyway, it's amazing how one story can lead you to another. Like, fuck, here I am off just, you know, not even sitting with my girl. Next second I'm buying bud. Next second I'm ripping off bud. Next second I rip off the guy from Lygon Street. Next second it evolves. Greek guys, then Turkish guys, then they came in, then she came in, and she was looking at me going, I swear, that's what I said, there you go. I think she knows us maybe. Anyway, so, Yeah, so he pulls out a gun on me, and as he pulls out a gun on me, I'm like, what the fuck? That was the first time no one pulled out one on me. You know, and this is the first time before the one that happened in Sydney that I told you about. Anyway, and I looked at him and I go, bro, is that a plastic gun? He goes, you getting smart? I'll put one in your fucking knee. He goes to me like that. And I'm looking across the road, I'm thinking, I hope these boys across the road come and save me soon, you know? Because I know they had one on them too, you know? As we came there, I knew that I'd ripped off these people, and it was a large amount, so I knew for a fact that there's no way that that my boys wouldn't bring that with them just in case to protect me. So they're across the road, and I'm looking, I can't even see them anymore. They're gone, they're vanished. I'm like, fuck, they've taken off on me, these cunts. They're not gonna back me up or save me, you know? Fuck, cunts are fucking Melbourne owners law or Sydney, you know? So I was thinking, you know, at that time when I seen them go, you know, I was only young. Anyway, and then not even around about, say, 5 minutes later, he's got the pistol to me and he's trying to get me to, like, give him back the money and say, take him to somewhere where I can pay him back and shit. You know, they've just come from behind and just fucking bang, clubbed him with the back of the 9mm Glock, straight over the back of the head. Bang, he went fucking straight down, bro. They're heavy fucking guns, bro. You know what the 9mm are like, fucking like that. Anyway, so just laid him out. Anyway, luckily back then it was 1993, so there was no camera surveillance. There was hardly any camera surveillance in any shops. It only just started all coming out. There was, but not much. You know what I mean? Yeah. So luckily that there wasn't any camera surveillance in there. I think those boys knew it because they were local, or else they wouldn't have done it in there. They would have done it when he walked out. They just smacked him over the head, jumped on his head with two kicks to the head, and bang, we were off running because they thought he was going to kill me. You know what I mean? Then, yeah. Anyway, so we ended up taking off. As we taken off, the guy that was with me that came and saved my life, really, he got his house shot up that night, and the other guy got his house shot up that next night. You know, me, I didn't get my house shot up because they didn't know who I was or where I was from. You know what I mean? I was just new to those areas. Yeah. So I knew that they were looking for me again and looking, you know. So I just took off and went AWOL by myself, you know. I went on a spree of getting to know about 100 chicks in the next 6 months because I had to hide from the Underworld because of that. And I was a kid, and they were like the Underworld, you know, they were the Trumps. Anyway, so I ended up, I was no way for me to do crime or be seen by the criminals because they were running the show around those areas, you know. So I was fucked. So there was only one more way for me to make money, which is what? Be Casanova with the girls, be a fucking, what do they call that? You know that word, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a Casanova with the girls, just like big, close to girls, I was good looking, or so they reckon. And they kept saying, I just kept asking them, like, borrow money because I couldn't do crime, you know. For 6 months, I was on the run doing that, you know. And then, about 6 months later, I didn't want to be on the run anymore, you know. So I called up a few of my Middle Eastern gangster boys, the ones from Sydney, the biggest boys that I tell you about always. And I got them, I asked them to come up and sort it out for me. Because I knew the force they've got, that they would be able to sort it out for me. That they would be superior to the people in Melbourne. Well, not superior in Sydney, and they're superior in Melbourne, but I knew that they would have big talks with them and they'd let it go, you know. So they spoke to him they came down to Melbourne, and they went and spoke to him down there, and they told him, he's a kid, he didn't know. They go, why do you rip off free P's of fucking this and that? 16 O's, and like each one, that's like 16, 32, almost 40, 50, 60 O's, and it was like fucking, it was hectic, bro. It was the best hunt day ever. Anyway, yeah, they ended up sorting out the drama for me, and they made me come out and shake the people's hands and everything, and you know, it was all good. Went back to normal, blah blah blah. My friends went back to Sydney. Yeah, that's the story. That's over.
Dude, that's cool. Thank you for sharing.
No worries, bro. Anytime. The reason why I picked that story specifically is Eunice had to go home because he was late, and he was blinking me, and I spoke to him. He had to go home like very soon, so about now. So that's why I picked that story, because it was only like a 20-minute story, instead of sitting down and tell you a real hectic ones about shootings, a 45-minute one and another 45-minute one. We've got to come earlier. We've got to come like 8 o'clock, sit down. So we've got to do 5:36 leave, go do everything we do, and then at 8 o'clock we sit down to do the episode. So we're going to be here by 8 o'clock from now on. And we do the episode from 8 till about 9:15, then we leave. That way we do a double A, you know. The quicker we finish it, the better. Then we'll do different series on different things. like we said. But we can do them all at the same time. So we're going to do a dating series, guys, where we're going to do a dating series for Spidey and myself. Tomorrow, we're going to work out a couple of posts while we're together. When we do this tomorrow, we're going to work out a couple of posts. We're going to do the posts together, sitting down, and he's going to tell you what his type of girl he likes, and I'm going to tell you what type of girl I like, in the same post together. But he'll start it first, and he'll talk about everything. I will first when I say it, and then he'll say his one, and then we'll put that post up, and we'll tell the girls, and we'll do 2 separate ones as well. Like we'll do a separate one for you, separate one for me, and one together, and we'll throw the posts up, and we'll tell all girls engage if you're interested. Mate, we've got massive followings. You know how much people are going to engage? And then we're going to look at the girls, and then we can talk to the girls in DMs and get to know them and see which one's looking wise, best looking one, what personality, has she got in common with us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Leave it to me, bro.
You know,
as in, leave it to me as in ID-wise. Then I'm counting on you to build it and enhance it with your great articulate features and your articulate nature, because you're very you're very varietalistic, like you got so much variety about going on about. I thought I was variety, I didn't notice this until I started watching stuff about you on the internet. Like this was the last week. I don't watch no one, Spidey. I'm a selfish gun. I think I'm it, brother. Same way every other person thinks it. Nah, well, everyone thinks that they're it. You're the one that's it. I'm the one. I look up to you, bro, and you look up to me. So that's a humbling relationship, And I just I'm so happy that me and you are just doing everything we're doing, because
it feels right.
Not just that. I never seen you coming, bro. Never. And I was always like, is this all that TikTok has to offer? I feel like I've conquered it all. I haven't conquered shit until I met this guy, and he's brought out a whole million other wrinkles that I can go on to, different storylines, all in conjunction with mine. Why would you want us to split up? We're telling you it's the best tales ever. Before he came to me and before I came to him, were we that great? Were we that successful?
Tell him, bro.
We were good, but we weren't this great.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Come together.
They're getting the best shows. And then you got half of them sooking. You go, we're trolls, we hate yous, but we love yous. But here's $10, but no, don't worry about it today, but yes, tomorrow.
The masses can't comprehend that Slammer might actually be someone good to have in my corner.
I love you, my bro, 100%. You are the best to have in my corner. I love you, bro. I'll never blame you for that copper stuff, because I know that it's just from the TTS. It doesn't matter. But I'm so happy that you didn't, even though the coppers came, that what everybody did to try to break us up didn't work. See, I told you, it will never work till he's ready to say, okay, Slammer, okay, Glenn, I'm jumping on my bus, I'm going to Melbourne, I'm going to Queensland, I'm going to Adelaide. And guys, once he goes, don't think that I'm not going to come up and see him in Melbourne. Don't think that I'm not going to come up and travel to see him. Wallah on the Quran, I'm going to come and see you.
Thank you, bro.
The same way you came and seen me. And bro, if I come and see you in Melbourne, I lived up there, I know everything up there, bro. I know everything. The same way I do down here. Every connection, every guy, every this, every that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just want to say a big shout out to Spidey Turan, and thank you so much for being such a great collaborator, great host, giving me such great ideas and having such great collaboration with me. And thank you for putting on a great spectacle for the fans. Even though half the fans act like they don't like it, they love it, they rock up here every day watching it, they ask for it, they gift, they don't gift, it's there, it's in your face. I love you, bro. Over and out. That was episode 5. It was a bit of a soft, quick one because my mate has to go, the driver. But tomorrow, I promise you, is a double episode. And tomorrow, I'll probably tell you about DK's gang. They're my boys. Like I grew up with them. DK's gang is the biggest gang that took out its boss. They shot its own boss, and big drive-bys, shootings, killings. I'm going to tell you all about the boys, my boys that I grew up with. Probably tomorrow, day after DK's boys. I have a lot of stories to tell you about Harvey. I've got a lot of stories to tell you about all the boys in Punchbowl, Eamon Gerbers, all those boys, all the shit they've done that they've been convicted for in the newspapers, not stuff they've done that they've never been caught for, only stuff that they've been convicted with. And I'll tell you the best stories, me and Spidey, guys. Look forward to our dating show, which will come out this weekend or by Monday. Post will go up tomorrow, day after. Look out for Spidey's posts, which he's doing a lot of at home, cutting and clipping in that. Tell them a bit about it.
Yeah, guys, on TikTok, you can follow Turan Spidey on TikTok. Just look up that name and you'll find.
Yeah.
And also look up Slammer as well.
100%.
Look up Slammer and Spidey.
I love
Check
it,
out
bro.
our content together.
100%. But look up Spidey for the content of him doing stuff at home and that, and also he's going to be doing a lot of clippings about pranks and stuff like that together. And also it's going to be great, guys. Love you, Zay.
Right.
Over and out, guys. Share it, like it. Love you, bro. Thanks for this episode.
Thank you, bro. And it's